Hey everybody, what's going on? It's me, Chase. This is No Chaser TV, and I am here to do the Married to Medicine review. I'm just gonna be honest with you, a moment of transparency. I wasn't going to do it tonight, but I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. We got to talk about some things. And though I couldn't get the people to join me tonight, it doesn't mean that I can't go ahead and do this review like we do. Make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your notification bells. Do your big one when it comes to No Chaser TV and support. We greatly appreciate it. Hopefully, somebody comes on in the lounge and talks with me while I am doing this. But in the meantime, until then, it's just going to be me rocking it on out. And we're going to go ahead and push right on through. Again, this is the Married to Medicine review right here on No Chaser TV. My name is Chase. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notification bell so you can get notifications. I know this is way later than we normally do. Yes, evening cocktails in the lounge. We weren't going to do it, but I'm going to go ahead and push right on through and do it. There are some fabulous talking points that I need to discuss. And so I will go ahead and do so. Now, here's the thing. I don't really understand why I sell myself short. And I was like, I don't know if I can do this by myself. But guess what? I can and we will, okay? So let's get right on into the things. How was y'all day? I've had a long one, but we're pushing through. We are a little bit over a day away from my eye surgery. So I want to go ahead and give you, yes, stop sleeping on yourself. Thank you. I'm going to stop sleeping on myself. We're trying to wake them up like Folgers. We're going to wake up and we're going to get into it. But a day away from my eye surgery. So I just know that God's got me and I've received a lot of encouraging words. So I do appreciate you guys for that. Let's go ahead and get into the things. Angel hosts some of the ladies over her home, and Quad isn't ready to tell the ladies yet that the IVF didn't take. And I know that that had to be incredibly jarring, but she went ahead and pushed right on through because I believe it was Heavenly who grabbed her stomach or said, I know it's a baby and now, baby boy, and all of those things. And, I just feel like that had to be. Mm, My heart goes out to Quad. I want people to have what they want to have. If they want to have a child, I am all in support for that. If they want to be married, I am all in support of that. And so, Quad wanting this child at this stage in her life, I see nothing wrong with her wanting a child at this stage in her life and doing whatever she can to go ahead and have that child in this stage of her life. I commend her for it, and I'm really rooting for her. I hope that does get her happy ending. I really do. Now, speaking of people, wanting to have children and wanting to have whatever they have, I posted a clip of our show last week with me and Chad on our socials. And here's the clip. That's weird. Okay, here's the clip. And then I'm going to go ahead and give my comment on the clip because a lot of people are having a lot to say, and it's really giving, like, who you feeling like. You know what I mean? And a lot of them are followers of No Chaser TV, which is even more, more confusing because I'm gay. So I don't really know what the people thought it was, but it's never going to give that. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the video. We're going to watch it, and then I'm going to comment on that, and we're going to continue on with the review.
King's Tea
You did.
before.
You did.
Um, so immediately my buzzer started going off as soon as I heard it. Like,
You got all the good news for me? You got four boys. You're going to solidify the throne. Give me an heir, masculine child.
heard it. Like,
Yeah.
I want to say I was in the kitchen doing something while that scene even came on. And as soon as I heard it, I kind of like stopped in my tracks and stopped what I was doing and walked over to the TV, rewinded it. And I was like, yeah, this is a homophobe. I don't like calling people that. I don't like saying that. Um, I don't like saying that about people or using those terms about people without knowing them or without being around them, especially from a reality TV standpoint, because again, we're working with an edit. So I try to always look at it from the aspect of maybe it was edited that way. But this is his second time kind of in an unwarranted situation, highlighting, masculinity or fragile masculinity.
Now, wait a minute, sir. We hired you to be a server. No. You supposed to have your shirt off.
Bro, I love the house, but I'm a little bit uncomfortable. Why they naked men running around? Like, dude, bro.
Masculinity. And it's at a point to where it's like, sir, what's your issue? What is the issue? And after the second time, like, it don't take a third time for me. I don't ever want to be in a room with King. I don't want to be around King. I don't have to see King on my TV screen. Like, I just don't like that. Like, so as far as where I'm standing right now, I ain't got nothing for King. I don't care about their relationship, what they got going on. I would be okay with them just showing quad. And honestly, I want her to lead him. Not even because of the whole, homophobe thing or whatever, masculinity thing. It's just more so it don't seem like he don't want this baby.
Hey girl, it's Candace, and you are watching.
All right, there you have it. That was what Chad thought if you weren't here with us last week. And I stand 10 toes behind him. I actually need to pull that back up because I want you to see some of the comments that we've been receiving on his commentary regarding what he felt like in regards to that situation.
King.
Okay. Lord, just because someone wants a masculine son doesn't mean he's homophobic. This reach is crazy. That man wants a boy. Nothing more, nothing less. I also believe as much as I feel for Quad as a woman, her experience has not be pleasant or fruitful, but I understand and side with King on truly considering how much more time, money, effort, and emotional stress this process can cause. I love Quad and King together, but if they don't come to a compromise, it's definitely not gonna last. I'm sorry. My eyes, y'all know I have a surgery coming up. Bear with me. Now, why in the F would he want his son to be feminine? Please answer this question for me. OMG, he means a masculine as in a boy since he has a daughter already. Why is that a trigger? Come on, y'all. Really? What the F? This is your takeaway from his comment, bro? Because he wants a boy? I stand with King on this one. And thank you, someone, for clarifying this. What's a masculine child? And someone replied, a boy. Y'all are doing hula hoops to justify your homophobia. If he wanted a boy, he would have left it at boy. He made it a point to add a masculine child. The opposite of masculine is feminine. Okay? He already said he wanted a boy. Adding masculine was not necessary if you didn't say it for a reason. What the hell is a masculine child? Why can't a child just be a child? Why can't a parent just love whatever they get? You get what you get. If you don't want another girl, okay. Your heart's desire is that you're going to have a boy. However, you imposing toxic masculine views on children and not allowing them to grow up and to be who they are, but imparting the way in which you choose to live your life as if it is gospel is what the issue is with that statement, and why Chat came to the conclusion that you must be homophobic, because if you already have a girl and now you're already stating that you want a boy, What is the point of saying that you want a masculine child if you don't want your masculine boy child to be feminine, which means that you must equate masculinity and femininity with someone's sexuality. And that has absolutely nothing to do with what each other whatsoever at all. Okay? So that's why Chad came to that conclusion. I don't agree with anything that I just read, but I would just really respect even the people who said, there was someone in the comments who said, I mean, let's be honest, who wants a gay son? Nasty as hell, ignorant as fuck, silly. Perhaps one of the dumbest things I've ever read, but completely honest. But for these people, oh, come on, he didn't say that. You guys are making everything an issue. Let's call a thing and stop playing in people's face. And I know a lot of people are following No Chaser TV that may not be really familiar with me as a person and how I get down, but I don't play that shit, and you got the right one. He meant what he said, and Chad meant what he said, and I'm going to stand behind Chad. And I know for a fact that Quad couldn't certainly agree with what he said. I'm sure Quad will be happy with whatever type of a child God blesses her with, because the blessing is in the child, not whether the child is masculine or feminine. This comment, homophobia and having to interact with her group of friends is wild. It tells us everything. Quad has always been an avid and staunch supporter of the LGBTQ community. And that wasn't even the reason why Chad did not want them to continue to last. It was because he doesn't feel as if King wants the baby. And I know for a fact, I have seen plenty of comments on our socials and all around social media on various platforms with people who have felt the exact same way. So again, I ask you, is it a coincidence? I ask you. It's got to be a coincidence. You've got to be attempting to excuse something in order to justify something else. Even though I thought that the one comment I read that nobody wants a gay son is highly ignorant, I could do nothing but respect it, because at least that ignorant person was ignorantly honest. And then when you read things and it says nobody wants a gay child, if the child is gay, imagine how that child feels growing up in a household with people who feel that way, potentially a person that's raising them that feels that way. Imagine if the child is not gay, but isn't masculine to King's liking. Imagine what kind of hell that's going to be for the child. Imagine us not even talking about whether a child is gay or not. I thought y'all didn't want the people shoving gay. You don't want to talk about the child. A child's not old enough to know they're gay. I mean, just newsflash. I knew I was gay my whole life. Just like you knew you were straight your whole life. And I grew up in the 90s and the early 2000s, and we didn't have representation. We didn't have gay representation. We most certainly didn't have black gay representation. We didn't have representation. Every image that I saw was straight, and I knew who I was. And thankfully and hopefully, people's children love to learn to love themselves, because this world a cruel place, and it shows you whether they bring you into the world or not. They ain't gonna love you if you're not masculine or feminine. Or I get on somewhat, King. And y'all can get on some of that bullshit too. Don't play in my face, because I'm not the one. Who are you, Muffy Mouse, to tell anybody what's normal? That's the problem. You need to govern yourself accordingly, okay? We should just normalize, if we're going to talk about what's normal, let's just normalize kids being kids and playing and having a good time, and not forcing relationship archetypes on people. I mean, oh, my son gonna have, I set my son up to be with the woman instead of to be with a hoe. Like, what? It goes both ways. So don't do that. Don't do that. Let's normalize kids loving themselves despite what you think is normal or not. How about that? And stop bringing in a generation of demons and hellcats. Thank you. What happened to just wanting a, and you know what? Even now, I don't even say wanting a healthy child anymore because there are people who have children that may not necessarily be healthy. Listen, you wanted a child, you get what you get, and you should love what you have because the blessing is in the child. Challenges, no challenges, feminine, masculine. The child is a child. And you can, on one hand, say that you are raising children to be children, but that you don't want your children, you want your children to be masculine and feminine. It doesn't work that way. Is the children going to be a child and learn to discover themselves and love themselves and know that their parent is going to love them no matter who they are? Or are we forcing archaic ideologies on people's children? Y'all got to grow up, not the children, because the children are perfectly fine until they get to you, the parent, and the parent ruins them. They get to you, the family member, and the family member ruins them. They get to the world, and you don't raise these old ignorant ass children, and your ignorant ass children ruin them. The children are fine until they get to y'all ass. And then you tell them what you think that they should be. Gay, straight, masculine, or feminine. You tell them what you think that child should be. Instead of raising that child in love and supporting that child and teaching them right from wrong, who they are and what they're born to be has nothing to do with whether you think is right or wrong. Because at the end of the day, nobody on this earth is God, and only He can judge. Remember that. Let's move on with the review. Don't get in my comments talking no bullshit, because I'm going to get you right. And if you got to unsubscribe, I welcome you to do so, please. I'd rather have one person that support me than a million who faking the funk. Because you can't come and say that shit and support me because I was a child who grew up like that. You're not going to be able to say that to me because I have the lived experience and you have what you think my lived experience should have been. And those are two different things and they don't relate. Meanwhile, Toya and some of the others met at Apartment 4B in Atlanta. I've never been to Apartment 4B, but I've always heard nothing but great things about it. Toya tells Dr. Contessa that Heavenly's new brother also showed up, and Contessa is floored because who is his new brother? Now, Heavenly said that she is open to taking the DNA, and I said last week that while it is exciting, Heavenly needs to take a DNA. While he looks like the father, Heavenly needs to take a DNA. I would hope that people aren't looking to Heavenly as a grift, but she is a personality on television. She's doing well for herself. She has, enterprises. It would be well with, it would just be the smart thing to do to take a DNA before you get too invested. And then after you take the DNA, you can say, hey, we are brother and sister. Let's continue to grow this relationship. Or, you know what, we're not brothers and sisters, but you know what? I liked you, you liked me, you came in the time of my life where I needed you. I don't want to lose the connection, or you could just be family friends. But I thought that was my brother, dog. I will respect that too, but you need to take a DNA to know where you're at. She says that she will be launching her campaign to run for office, and she's going to talk about politics on her YouTube. She wants the ladies to come out and support her. Now, she talked about the politics on her YouTube for all about 2 weeks. And now, as you see, she's back to reading the girls one good time, but she does let you know that she is running for state representative, Dr. Heavenly. Is a state representative? I don't know what she's running for no more at this point. She's changed about 2 or 3 times. Now, Angel points out that Toya broke girl code by dropping a bomb about Angel asking Toya to hook her up with one of Dr. Eugene's friends in front of Angel's friend, Bernard. Angel says that she doesn't fuck with bitches that move like that. Period. I'm on Angel's side with it. Period. Dr. Heavenly doesn't fuck with Quad either. Toya either. Quad says no one real does. Ooh. I'm wondering if Toya's gonna have something to say when she sees that playback. Now, Toya tells the other ladies, and they are shocked that Toya would actually say that in front of Bernard. Toya says, don't play her. And Contessa says Simone should look up Angel's address so they can pull up. Now listen, I understand the don't play me, but Toya still was wrong for doing what she did. That could have waited, and then her and Toya could have had a conversation, and Toya could have been like, listen, if you still out here dating and playing the field, I don't want to put my husband and his friends in that and be involved in that because my husband's friends are looking for a serious, relationship, and you still out here playing the field. However, Toya, I wouldn't even look at it as playing the field. I am free to date until I am serious. And I'm not going to throw my dating life away for your friend who may not even be a sure thing. So Toya wrong all the way around. Let's just call it what it is. Toya, you wrong. You were dead ass wrong for that. You are Charlie Kirk. Oh, well, I wouldn't want to be that diva right now. I just don't think I don't know. It's a choice. If that's who you want to be. Have fun with that, I guess. Love, love, love. Could you go ahead and get rid of that comment, please? And get rid of this person? Who the hell is this? I wish I knew how to. Yeah, this is what we do. We're gonna ban the user and delete their comments. I did it, don't worry about it. And now you with Charlie Kirk. Rest in peace. Period. All right. Yeah, Toya definitely knew she was wrong. Since when do you stop dating because someone is trying to hook you up with someone? I, Toya is just very controlling. I don't know what's gotten into Toya this season, but she is on 10. And I live, but I kind of like don't live. I don't know, like I'm intrigued, but I'm embarrassed. I want more, but I want less. Toya, keep doing what you're doing, girl. I don't know. Um, Heavily says Simone should worry about Cecil. And Mimi says it's a coping skill to deflect from what's going on in her household. Heavenly, why are you starting up with Simone? I don't get it. Also, Heavily said on the Patreon with Carlos King that this scene that she talked about, where the situation that she talked about with Dr. Simone, was also with Dr. Contessa, who was Dan Hurted as well. It was filmed last season, and she jokingly said, "Oh, I look at the van too if I had it." Heavenly, that's not how you brought it to Quad. So while Heavenly is saying like, "Oh, I brought it to Quad because that's my friend and she need to know," why didn't you bring it up last season? Why are you bringing it up now? And if she said it in a joking manner, why did you deliver it to her like it was something that she came to you and told you that she would do? So you relayed that message messy as hell. And now Quad is ready to tear some ass. But you need to take part in your accountability in your part as well, because the way you delivered it was messy. If you knew that wasn't Simone's intent, and Simone probably should have never said the shit in the first place. And I'm also wondering why. I don't know. I guess we got trolls tonight. I don't know what's going on, but okay. Um uh I'm also wondering why Quad continues to give Heavenly a pass. And I do feel like it's a pass because if somebody brought a message to me and they brought it back messy and purposely changed the intent behind what was said in order to get me mad at somebody who I said I was trying to be cool with, I would not only question the person who said it, but I would also question the messenger and the way the message was delivered. So and I feel like Quad is always giving Heavenly a pass. So while I do believe Simone is wrong for saying that shit, I also believe that Heavenly is wrong for delivering the way it was delivered if she knew that's not how it was meant. That's messy. Y'all gotta call a spade a spade. Contestant thinks the girls should go away on a girls trip. Okay. It's time for Heavenly's rally, and she does her speech while saying crime at everyone, excuse me, has been supportive except for one person. Now, she did the speech in front of the people who were there to support her to begin the kickoff of her rally for political office. And she took time in her speech to throw shade at Toya. Now, I am reminded of all the way back in season 5 when Mariah had the Mother's Day lunch, and Mariah gave Toya a, award for most dedicated to Miss Toya Bush Harris because being a stay-at-home mom is a tough job in itself. And despite no matter what her and Mariah went through, that Toya never came for her mom and disrespected her mom. And Dr. Heavenly took that as shade and told Quad that if Mariah want to throw shade, she could throw shade too and let the games begin. But now you're taking time out of your speech to throw shade at Toya. Whether Toya deserves it or not. And Toya, she does deserve the shade. I mean, her and Heavenly, it could be up and stuck for as far as I'm concerned all this season because they both have gone out of their way to be really nasty to one another. However, I just thought that was highly comical that she would take time out of her speech after she made a big deal about Mariah doing that to her. Brandy says that she saw a circus and not a person in politics, and she really needs to see the person that Heavenly is before giving her her endorsement. Dr. Mimi says Brandy could do more. Mimi asks, was Brandy and Toya talking? And Mimi says, oh, because I thought you do what Toya do. After Brandy says no, and whatever Toya said, you need to ask Toya. Mimi says you need to be careful when you align yourself with Toya because she shaded Heavenly, so that will make Brandy associated by default. Brandy says she doesn't need Mimi's diagnosis, and Mimi says she doesn't want to have to give her one. Then Brandy asks, so then why are you in my face? And if you can't, you need to walk away. Mimi says Toya called Brandy a name, but she still is her friend. She must want to be Toya. Dr. Mimi, who you feeling like? Because it seems like you riding for Dr. Heavenly in the way that you feel like Brandy is riding for Dr. You're riding for Dr. Heavenly, Mimi, the way that you say that Brandy is riding for Toya, and it feels like you want Mimi to be on y'all's side. And the question is why? You don't like Toya. Why you got to recruit other people to not like Toya? If Brandy wants Toya to cuss out and go in her face and get back with her, that's on Brandy. That's not on you. And for you to be whatever she is, I guess Mimi's a therapist or a psychiatrist or whatever she is, when you with the girls, just be with the girls and kick it. Don't be trying to apply that psychoanalysis on me, girl. We out here kicking it. I'm glad Brandy stood her ground. I'm glad Brandy got in her personal space and invaded Mimi personal space and let Mimi know that she wasn't going to little girl her because I feel like the reason why Mimi had all that energy is because they must have thought that Brandy was the weakest link and that's why Mimi came for her because we have yet to see Mimi come for Toya in the way that she's come for Brandy and she really don't like Toya. So we haven't seen her try to look girl Brandy like she tried to look girl Toya. I mean, try to look girl Toya like she tried to look girl Brandy. What's that about? I don't know, y'all. Like I've been saying, I haven't really been feeling Dr. Mimi this season as far as like some of this stuff is concerned. Was Brand oh, well, you need to be careful that who you associate yourself with, because Toya was talking about Heavenly during her speech. Heavenly was talking about Toya during her speech. And why, if she say it, just because I'm cool with her, I need to be careful with my association with her. You need to be able to associate and disassociate. And by disassociate, that means that just because she says it doesn't mean that I said it or I think it. But if I do, that doesn't mean I'm trying to be like Toya. That means that we have like minds and we agree. Just like you fighting a battle for Dr. Heavenly that nobody's put you up to do. Because you have yet to come for Toya in the way that you're coming for Brandy. I thought it was weird. It was a chop for me. I wish I had a panel up here so they could probably disagree. I'm sure y'all might be disagreeing in the lounge. I just didn't, I don't understand what, I don't get it. I didn't get what Mimi was coming from with that. Toya been talking mess. Toya was talking mess before the speech started. Toya been talking mess since episode 1. Toya has been talking mess. I wouldn't have taken my political entrance into the world to take time to throw shade at a reality show cast member if I'm trying to be taken seriously as a political competitor. I wouldn't have taken the time out of that particular speech and that particular day to do this, as well as if Mimi is so concerned about Toya, she wouldn't have taken Dr. Heavenly, so concerned about Dr. Heavenly, she wouldn't have taken Dr. Heavenly's political entrance in her rally to take that time to make a moment with Brandy. She could have made a note at it and addressed it somewhere else. But she chose there to do it too. So I actually think it was in poor taste. Toya and Brandy should have stayed home. Brandy had no reason to be negative other than Toya was in her ear. Hey. So answer me this, because I saw it looked like Toya was the only one talking about Dr. Heavenly. Was Brandy talking mess about her too, or was it just Toya? Because I couldn't quite see that. I was under the impression that it was all Toya talking mess and Brandy was just sitting there. But whatever it was, I still think it was the wrong time and the wrong place for any of it to be done across the spectrum. Trump is president. Politics has lost all decorum. So the only way that we get decorum back is by demanding decorum. Just because one person made it a free-for-all, everyone doesn't have to make it a free-for-all. So I don't know. That's where I stand with that. I could be wrong. I may need to go back and rewatch it. So we will go ahead and see from there. But from what I saw, I feel like Mimi was a bit aggressive. Before they arrived, Toya and Brandy definitely talked, and Brandy came in with preconceived notions. Okay, listen. Before Mimi got to Toya's house, where Toya and Eugene got into that fight, Dr. Heavenly and Mimi talked. And then Mimi saw the actions and Mimi made her decision. After Toya, did her big one and was absolutely rude to the ladies for talking about what they had just witnessed in our house. I feel like that's almost the same thing, that if Toya and Brandy talked before the rally and then they go to the rally and Brandy sees the behavior that they're talking about, right? It would make me pause for cause too if I felt like that was a reason for me to withhold my political endorsement, because you took the time to be unprofessional and shade a co-star during your political speech. I still don't. Hey, all right, Brazil. I still don't fully agree. I still feel like Mimi was a bit aggressive in the approach. Dr. Simone says she is done delivering babies. She is bringing the lion's share of the money because Cecil has retired from an amazing corporate salary. And though she still gets wet and the sex is amazing, she's about checked out. Jackie says you're headed for a divorce, and Dr. Simone asks if that is a bad thing. And y'all know for the last couple of weeks on this review, I've been saying, listen, you just need to get a divorce. And I'm not changing on it. If you're that miserable, get a divorce or fix it. I feel like Dr. Simone wants the divorce. There are multiple reasons why she does not go for it. But I also think that at this point, it's starting to feel like the reasons why she hasn't done it don't outweigh the reasons why she needs to do it. And so if you got to pay him some money, if you got to deliver babies and do the show for another 2 or 3 years, so you can make sure your money is where you want it to be, if you got to go no contact with the children, if you got to do whatever you got to do to make sure that you're happy for once as you enter, the golden years of your life, then you need to take the time to do that, because complaining about it, yelling, screaming, and doing all the above does not help. And if divorce may not sound like a bad thing to you, then go ahead and do it. Like Quad said, you bad, go ahead and do it. In the words of the Migos, wrap it up then. It's time for Angel's event, and Contessa doesn't understand the correlation of the theme of the event, which looks like outer space and Scrubs. And yet again, as I pointed out on more than one occasion this season, is Dr. Contessa coming to someone's event and talking shit about it. Can't nobody throw the party like Dr. Contessa throw the party. Can't nobody throw the birthday like Dr. Contessa throw the birthday. Can't nobody throw the event like Dr. Contessa throw the event. If you that girl, be that girl. But stop going to people's events and talking shit about them. Like, that would be a type of girl I wouldn't invite to none of my events, because you're not going to come to my stuff and run me down behind my back, might I add. In confession, not in scene. In confession. Girl, no. You will not be coming to my stuff. She just bought Michael a Tesla. Well, I don't know what to tell her then. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Toya tells Heavenly it was tacky for her to call people out during her rally speech. Heavenly gets up and wants to leave because Heavenly says, listen, I ain't coming for all this tonight, and I'm not going to go back and forth. The ladies are saying, Heavenly, if you want to be in politics, this should be able to be worked out and taught and discussed, because that's what you're going to be looking to get yourself into for the rest of your political career. But Heavenly is headed for the dough, okay? Heavenly then says that she will pray for Toya, and Toya says, girl, don't pray for me. I ain't going to lie, I holler. Now, Mimi joins Simone, Toya, Brandy, and Contessa, and Simone says, oh, this is our clique, Mimi, so be careful. Mimi says, well, I can leave. And Simone says, we don't want you to leave. And Toya says, are you, shit, are you asking them or me? Because you can go. Contessa asked Mimi what happened at the rally, and Mimi says she told Brandon to be careful because Toya put her out of her house. Toya says they need to be careful of Mimi, and she can go back to her team because she isn't their kind of girl. And that was it. So like I just said, all that energy Mimi had for Brandy, when you really have a problem with Toya and you were trying to get Brandy and persuade Brandy to be on y'all's side, which when did we create sides? I feel like this is something that Mimi has created, because Mimi cool with Heavenly and she don't like Toya. So now it's sides, and you're trying to recruit Brandy to be to your side. Your issue is not really with Brandy, and you tried to warn her to kind of, people will warn you and put a bug in your ear so you can stop fucking with people. And I feel like that's what Mimi tried to do with Brandy, and Brandy wasn't going for it. Whether Brandy should deal with Toya or not, that's going to be on Brandy. It's not going to be on you, Mimi. The way in which you went about it, I thought was sus. And then right here in this moment, Toya giving you the business, and you ain't saying nothing bad. So they are, like I said, for right now, you came for Brandy because she is the weakest link. And when I see So Mimi give Toya the same energy she gave Brandy. Then I'll go ahead and change my mind. But for right now, I felt like you was trying to come from Brandy because the perception of Brandy so far is that she's been quiet, a little meek, a little mild, a little docile, and you thought that you was gonna be able to get her to come to your team, and when she wasn't going for it, you thought you was gonna be able to run over that girl, and that girl wouldn't let you do it. And that's how I feel about that. Y'all ain't gonna change my mind on that one. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Normally we have a panel. None of the panel can make it tonight, so it's just me. And normally we do have differing viewpoints and opinions, and that's what we pride ourselves on here on No Chaser TV. We are the safe space for unsafe opinions. You can have your opinion. We're gonna agree. We're gonna disagree. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna kiki. We're gonna caca, and we're gonna keep it moving. Okay, and that's what we do. Toya and Simone is miserable and lashing out. You know, a case could be made for Toya and Simone being miserable and lashing out. Definitely. A case could definitely be made for that. Mimi says Toya will down others to put herself up on a higher pedestal and even talks down to her husband, but whatever. Angel comes out and she didn't wear anything from her clothing line. Angel looked amazing. Amazing. But also, girl, why would you wear the scrubs so the people can see it on the TV and see how your body look in the scrubs and have a couple of different models of all sizes in the scrubs so everybody can see that? Because there are plenty of nurses and doctors and everybody who needs scrubs. And baby, that would have helped advertise your business even more, actually seeing the people in the scrubs as opposed to the advertisement so they can see how the clothes fall on the people and then move forward and see how the clothes fall on you. I thought it was a missed opportunity. Contessa apologizes for missing the family reunion and proposes to go on a girls' group trip, but she does not tell the girls where. Angel asks Toya, what kind of friend is Toya? Toya says they can do a one off, and Angel says there are some things that Toya did to make her look at her differently. Toya says, like what? And Angel says, well, we could talk about it later. But I just brought it up now because I'm not a fake friend. Toya's confused as to why she wants to bring it up, but not talk about it. Angel girl, say what you're saying. As we move on, say what you're saying, girl. Heavenly says Simone could learn how not to be a fake friend too, and Quad tells Simone the people said that she would look up her VIN number. Simone can't believe Quad is upset over this. Now they're full blown arguing, and Simone says, "Don't F with me because I'm going to bring it." Quad says, "Well, pull it, you bad MFer." And Simone is implying she shouldn't have the things that she has. Um, so that really makes Quad upset. Quad says that she lives very well, and Simone says that, yeah, you live well with a lot of debt. And that really sets Quad up because y'all know Quad don't like nobody talking about her finances. Simone says Quad lives well with a lot of debt, as I just mentioned, and Simone says Heavenly isn't trustworthy for telling Quad what she said. Now, Yandy and everyone else tries to come and calm Quad down, and then Contessa comes over and begins asking each lady if they're going on a girls' trip. And it's like, read the room, Contessa. Like, are you what? Contessa is giving limp noodles, sis. I don't know. Like, what, huh? I, ugh. Simone starts it, then loses her mind when she gets called out. I feel a little bit differently. I have a big problem with Dr. Heavenly relaying that back to her, relaying that back to Quad the way she relayed it back to Quad. I have a big problem with that. Um, yeah, I don't like that. So I don't know. I feel like I feel like Simone shouldn't have said it, but I also feel like the way that it was relayed purposely to start some mess, because I just feel like, why would you sit on that for a year if that was filmed last season? So that means that was filmed in 2024. And I just don't understand the intent behind telling Quad that now, as opposed to telling Quad that when it actually happened, if she was truly looking out for Quad and having Quad's best interests at heart. I don't understand that. It doesn't add up to me, if that makes sense. So while I do think that sometimes Simone can do that and lose her mind when she gets called out or gets checked, I do agree with that. I think that Quad went in with misinformation and went off of misinformation when we know Quad telling her the truth about what Simone said and how she said it would have still set her off, and then Heavenly would not look so messy in the middle of it, trying to drum up drama between Simone and Quad. And just like you guys say, like Mimi said, Toya does things because she's going through things in her life. It could be said that Heavenly is going through things in her life, and this is a way to get conversation off of her and her life and have the group fight about something else. Because Simone and Quad, while they're not going to be like the best of friends and be good, they did have a peace treaty for some while and were being peaceful for these last couple of episodes until Dr. Heavenly dropped that bomb the way that she did it. And so I don't know. I don't know. Sean says it doesn't matter how it was relayed. It's the fact that Simone do stuff like that, but crying about she wants to be Quad friends so bad. Now, let's also take into account when it was initially said. It was initially said when Quad and Simone were not friends. Even though she was joking about it, they weren't in a good place, because this was said a year ago, a year before they filmed that. So this was said in 2024. So I still feel like it does matter how it was relayed. It does, because when you don't relay a message the way it was said and you purposely misconstrue how it was intended and then deliver that to a person, that is a form of emotional manipulation. So to me, Dr. Heavenly was manipulating Quad by purposely giving her that information incorrectly or not telling the full truth about what happened to manipulate Quad's emotions, because she knew that was going to set Quad off and get Quad to go on at Dr. Simone. So just like Dr. Mimi said, Toya does things, or Dr. Simone does things to deflect from what's going on in her house, the same could be said for Dr. Heavenly in this instance. Just saying. And I'm not saying that Dr. Simone is right for saying what she said. She was wrong for saying what she said. But also, I do question the intent behind why we're finding this out nearly almost 2 years later. Simone shouldn't have said it in the way Heavily related was messy, but we all know Heavily is messy. So why tell her? She didn't tell her. Let me go ahead and play this. I have it. I'm just going to play it so you guys so we can all have the context that I have about the situation. We want to see.
I do not ever have to deal with the disrespect, no matter where I'm at. I will not deal with the disrespect. You think I'm gonna just let people talk to me any kind of way? No, only Eugene does that. Nobody else. Nobody else is going to stand for that. Nobody that has self-respect is not going to stand for them women. And to me, I'm going to say this and I'm going to take it back. The people said, and I saw it on DJ Richie Sky. Shout out to DJ Richie Sky. He said that Heavenly looked shook.
Ooh.
The point was, I wasn't shook in the point where I felt fear for my life with Simone or anyone else because I beat the hell out of Simone. What I was shook about is I'm trying really hard to keep my composure and this bitch is screaming at me. And I'm like, I never felt, and you know, I talked to Jackie about it and I talked to Quad about it. And they say Simone screams all the time. But I don't know, that night, I wanted to slap the shit out of her. And I said, you know what? If I got to slap the shit out of somebody, I don't need to be here. I don't need to be here. Because if I feel like that,
okay.
If I feel like that, because she was screaming at me. And honestly, the VIN number thing was a key, right? It was a joke, meaning that Simone did this on television. I don't know if they played it or not, but Simone, we were all sitting in Jackie's kitchen when she said, I looked up Contessa's building and she does not own it, right? And I was like, well, she don't own it. And I believed it. I was like, well, shit, I don't know why Contessa would lie like that or whatever. Simone gets her information wrong. And so we were laughing about it because, you know, and then she said, if I get the VIN number, I look up Quasta. To me, it was funny. It wasn't
malicious intent.
I felt like Simone has a lot of stuff to deal with, like we all do, to be looking up somebody's stuff. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I could go further and say, you know, different things, but I'm trying to do better. But who got the time, first of all? Second of all, if you did it and you proud that you looking up people's stuff and I do this for a living and all of this, that, and the other. Damn, somebody calling me. Sorry. Can you still see me?
Okay, so that's the context that I have. Now, Dr. Heavily just said out of her own mouth that she thought it was a key and it was funny and it was all of these things, and they all sat around and laughed about this in 2024. So why is it just coming up in this season, and why are you bringing it up in a way that it was not intended? You said it messy and you delivered it as if she told you she would do that, being messy coming for Quad, and that's not what happened. So to me, that is manipulating a situation to get a certain result out of Quad, which we got, which is great television, which is what you do on reality TV. But I can't keep it real and act like that's not crazy and that's not fucked up when it is. So you say you're looking out for Quad and you have her back, but are you looking out for Quad and having her back? Because do you put your friends in contentious situations when you know that that's not the true intent? So while Simone should have never joked and said it, because that's tacky to joke and say, right? You know she didn't mean it that way, but that's not the way you went back and told it to Quad. So yeah, you are complicit in this. And yeah, your hands are on this. And yeah, this does have your fingerprints all over it. And yeah, this is messy. And you're the reason why it's messy, when you could have just told Quad, girl, it was a key, but this is what she said, girl. She said she was joking. And Quad would have been pissed off anyway, but you would have went ahead and got like this, because guess what? I don't have nothing to do with that now. I just told her what you said. I told her how it was said, and she still got mad, and that's on her, and it don't have nothing to do with me. I don't know. That's just how I look at those situations. I question that. I question not only the person who said it, but I question the messenger too. Because if the messenger getting messages wrong to me on purpose, then I have to ask myself, is the messenger really my friend? And are they looking out for my best interest? That's all. Quad was right to confront her. Quad was right to confront Dr. Simone over what was said about the VIN, most especially with the way that Heavenly brought it up. But she should have confronted her over it in the first place. But she most especially should have confronted her over it in 2024 when it actually happened, and not in 2025 when it is brought up because you're looking to get the heat off of your own shit. Just saying. since we talk about who looking to get the heat, it sounds like everybody do that. Now I don't know how Simone No Quad live well with a lot of debt unless she looking up other stuff on Quad. So Simone, you're not really helping the case out that you don't be looking up people's stuff if it ain't for business. You're not really helping yourself with that one, Diva. Because how you know she got a lot of debt if you didn't try to like look that up too. I don't know how you would know that. And you know Quad is gonna definitely go hard at this point about that VIN search because there was rumors on the internet. I don't know if it was unsubstantiated. I didn't look into it, but there was rumors that there was some sort of a lawsuit going on with King's rental car company and his business partner and one of the vehicles, and someone claiming ownership of one of the vehicles that they were using to rent or something like that. Allegedly, I don't know the full story behind it, but with those rumors being out on the internet, the last thing Quad would want to do is hear her man and his VIN be brought up in any kind of a way. So it's all messy all the way around to me. Everybody messy in this. And the only person not wrong in this is Quad. I feel like Simone heavily wrong. Yandy tries to calm everyone down, and Contessa begins going around asking everybody if they're going on a girl trip. And Yandy looked like she wanted to say, "Can I go?" Nah, boo. Nah, boo. You on VH1. You got If anybody would be a good Real Housewife outside of K. Michelle, I think that Yandy would probably. She seems more Bravo based. If that makes sense, especially with where Atlanta is right now. It seems like she would be the one. But back to Love and Hip Hop, you go, boo. They try to take a group photo, and Dr. Simone says she isn't taking a picture with Heavenly's fake ass and tells her to get her hand off of her, then walks off. Heavenly says that she is sorry that Simone feels that way, that she does about her household. And she says her man is a whole doctor and to leave husbands out, especially when Simone's situation is what it is. Now, why? Like, why are we going to husbands? That could have just stayed one-on-one. She didn't say Damon, you and Damon fake ass. She said your fake ass. And she called you fake because you went back and told some shit that happened from a year ago and got her cussed out about it. Whether that whole situation is right or wrong, that's why she feel like you are fake. So why does she take the opportunity to go off on Cecil? I know she said that Dr. Simone yelled at her and all of those things, and that's why she wanted to leave the event. But I don't know, Congresswoman. I don't know. Simone says Heavenly has to pretend and do all that fake shit to pretend like your household is good. And they then start screaming at each other that you won't win. You won't win this either. They were friends for a very long time, and they do know where all the bodies are buried. But I would think at this point, we're 12 seasons in the game. If you know where all Dr. Heavenly bodies are buried, why don't you start digging up some of them graves? Because the only thing that Dr. Heavenly keep doing is digging up graves and pushing y'all in them with the information that you've given her that she uses to weaponize against you in turn. And you girls keep saying like, "Oh, I got you and I'll do it," but y'all never do it. So it's leading me to believe that at this point, 12 seasons in the game, maybe y'all don't have any receipts, proof, timeline, evidence, fucking everything. Because by now, anybody who had any dirt on Heavenly would have dropped it. So I don't understand what they waiting on. It's given, it ain't none. Exactly. Because one thing about it, they bring up that son, it's going to be all hell breaking loose. That doesn't mean anything, Sean. Simone told the whole table she wanted a divorce. So that means you weaponize it against me when I'm coming for you, and I haven't said anything about your husband. You weaponize that instead of just coming for me. I mean, if that's how you fight, that's how you fight. But if I'm mad at you and I think that you did something that was messy, and then the first thing you do, as opposed to, try to get some straightening about the situation, is go ahead and start weaponizing my business against me. Are you messy? Are you a good friend? Probably not. You're probably not a good friend, but you're definitely messy. Heavily tells Simone that she is a hater and starts twerking while Simone is yelling, bring it, bitch, bring it. Angel says, in the name of Jesus, y'all gonna got to go if y'all can't get this thing right now. Hallelujah. In the name of Jesus. Toya, meanwhile, says, yeah, vote for Heavenly. Yeah. AKA, it won't be you. And it ain't gonna be you. And it ain't gonna be you. Angel tells Simone that she won't bring her to any more of her events if she is going to act out. Simone says you need to talk to Quad because she started with her tonight. If she's not going to say anything about Quad or Heavenly, then she doesn't need to say anything to her. Angel says you need to worry about you. And then she says, listen, Proverbs 31 woman. Ooh. Bitch, now Angel can read. Girl. Do y'all know what Proverbs 31 is? Oh, Sean. 1 second. Oh my goodness. For those of you who are not on your screen, let's go ahead. Because everybody don't know the scripture like you should while you're here talking about who children need to be feminine, masculine, and this and this and that and that. You don't even know the damn scripture. I wish you knew the scripture before you got to talking, but you don't. The Proverbs 31 woman described in Bible Gateway, Proverbs 31, 10 and 31, is a biblical archetype of a virtuous wife of noble character, praised for her strength, wisdom, diligence, and fear of the Lord, not her beauty or domesticity alone, managing business, household, and community needs with compassion and foresight, proving herself more valuable than rubies. She is a capable entrepreneur, wise manager, and devoted family member, but her ultimate quality is her deep devotion to God, which underpins all her actions. Key characteristics: faith and virtue, fears the Lord, speaks with wisdom, is kind, and her values come from God, not outward appearance. Ooh. Strength and dignity, clothed in strength, faces the future without fear, and works diligently with her hands. Entrepreneurial spirit, considers and buys fields, manages vineyards, sells goods, and perceives profitable merchandise. Wise household management, provides for her family, rises early, avoids idleness, and ensures her household is well run. This the read girl right here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Trusted partner. Her husband trusts her and her household praises her. She brings him good. Ooh. Now that, in the words of Christopher Fields, I don't know his last name, but Kim Fields' husband, is a read. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. AKA you hardworking woman that's lashing out on everybody else because you got to work hard to take care of your household when you got 3 grown men in it. Oh, nasty. Nasty. Simone says she doesn't start it, and Angel says, well, end it. End it. Angel says next time she will have security because they don't know how to act. And that's the end of the episode. I must say, whether we think the girls are right or they're wrong, that was one of the best damn episodes of reality TV in quite some time. Bravo to all of the ladies, all of the ladies. Mimi, Brandy, Angel really got in there and established themselves in this group and established that they're not taking shit from any of the older ladies and they're not taking shit from each other. And it was done in an organic way for the most part, as best they could, because I still feel, and it ain't changing over here, it ain't changing. I still feel like Mimi was a bit too aggressive in regards to uh, Brandy at the rally. But other than that, congratulations for the new girls getting in. It is very hard on Married to Medicine to get in. It is very hard to um, integrate yourself in this group, and we all know they will get rid of you on this show. I don't know. Sometimes we get spam. I don't know what's going on with that, but okay. Hey, Shakita, it's been a minute. Yeah, that was a read. It was a read. She read her. Um, Sean, you got a lot to say. Go ahead and call on in because you're talking a lot in the lounge. And I know we're late. I'm going to go, but I did go ahead and drop the phone number in so you guys can go ahead and give us a call and tell us what you're thinking about this. Tomorrow, we're going to have Salt Lake City, and then I'm going to be off for surgery, but the shows will still run. Saturday, we're going to have Beverly Hills. And next week, we're going to have the shows as we normally do. So I do greatly appreciate you guys for tuning in and supporting. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bells. And thank you guys so, so much for everything that you do. Thank you, Chiquita. You made it. Yeah, I did. I didn't think I was going to be able to do it. But I don't know. Sometimes I love doing shows with myself. I don't know why I be acting like that, but I think it's just the hesitancy of doing it before we get started. And then, yeah. So thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in wherever you're watching. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. It is late, and I want to thank you guys for watching us and supporting us. Do me a favor. Oh, Demisio's calling in. Let me go ahead and let Demisio up. Okay, go ahead. Demisio, you had something to say about Married to Medicine?
Chase,
Yes?
can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I can't hear you. Hold on just a second. Okay.
Okay, you had something you wanted to say? It's getting late now, Diva.
I still cannot hear you.
Oh, okay, well, I don't know what to
Okay,
say.
here wait. Okay, here we go. How are you doing
Okay,
tonight?
I'm all right. I'm a little tired. It's late. What you got for me?
um I agree with you with Mimi. I feel like she had way too much for Brandy, but Toya pressed her and she quickly paid it. It's like, girl, I'm gonna need you to give a little bit more. This the one that's kind of been coming for you, but you want to get bad with Brandy. Like, why are you not getting bad with Toya? I'm not understanding. Like, are you scared? Like, what's going on? I don't know. But she have a lot to say in her confessional, so it's like, ugh. And this was actually one of the better episodes. I did thoroughly enjoy Married to Medicine. I was like, okay, the girls are bringing it. Qua was absolutely right to chick Simone about that because why are you doing that? And then you will be crying at the reunion talking about all the stuff that Quad has done to you and Sister Circle. But it's like every time she try to make up, you do some more stuff. And I'm glad that Simone didn't take that picture with Heavenly Nita, because girl, like she said, you fake. You fake as hell. You took a bonding moment between the two of us and went and was messy about it. And you wonder why I don't mess with you. And that's also like you said about Heavenly. If it makes me think the same thing too as well. Like they must really don't have nothing on Heavenly to really too much say because Heavenly just get away with too much, too much. She always talking about somebody husbands, but soon somebody talk about daddy and his teeth, she gonna be looking crazy. Child. It's a mess, but no, you are right. Angel did step it up, honey. I was like, okay, Angel. Like she was kind of getting in there with Simone a little bit. I said, wait a minute now, because at first she was kind of blah to me. I was like, okay, Angel, cool, but she hadn't really did too much. But last night's episode, well, Sunday's episode, I was like, okay, Angel she may fit in with these girls. She may fit in. So I'm interested to see how the rest of the season is gonna go, and I'm interested to see the mid-season trailer as well and see what's in store for us for the rest of the season because
Well, it's
Married to
already out
Medicine.
and it's on it's on No Chaser TV, so you can go over there and watch it. But it's out. It
Okay,
did come out on Friday.
okay, I'm gonna have to go look because I didn't see it. Okay,
Well, all right, Demisio,
well,
thank you so much. We do greatly appreciate everything you do, and thank you for calling in, baby. It's late. We got to go ahead and go.
okay. Good night.
Good night
Alone
to
in
the
a
people.
room.
Yes. All right. All right. And with that being said, good night to the people. Thank you for watching wherever you're watching. And we do greatly appreciate